Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So it's moved up to 33.45 cents now. It hasn't made a new high yet. Basically, you could say this looks a bit like a double top. Made you aware yesterday that for me, it would need to break out above 33.7, 33.8 cents actually, which is the 78.6 retrace, to shift the odds in favor of a direct breakout. I just can't. I know I'm sorry about it, but I just can't. This structure just looks deeply corrective. So therefore, I'm still in favor of a correction. That this is an overall correction. This is not yet, because this is not impulsive, right? I mean, it can always become impulsive, but obviously the question is always, what is more likely? And that's all I can tell you. I mean, I can be wrong. I mean, I've got my bias, but of course we need to trust the levels. The levels are what is relevant, the fib levels. My view is from looking at, I don't know how many charts per day and everything, that this is most likely just a WXY. At least I prefer it. Now, of course, charts do unlikely things all the time, so don't trust just sort of what I'm telling you, because we haven't got. It's a bit like, when you're in a range in a pattern. To really have confirmation, you need obviously the signal. Now, we don't really have a signal here because we are still hovering above or you could say within the broader support range here. We haven't really got the breakout. The thing is that a move above the 78.6% retracement, that's normally something that would be a stronger than ideal retracement for an X wave. And that's exactly also why you could say that it then gets more likely that it's not an X wave, but something else. There is also the other way of calculating target, which is to take the length of the A wave here and then to go down to the low of the B wave. And then we actually have here the 33.9 cent level, which is the 1.618 extension. So, I mean, okay, that's 0.1 of a cent higher, which probably doesn't really make a great difference. But you could say, look at the 1.618 extension. That's still a possible target here for the C wave within X. And both are viable ways of calculating target. The third way of calculating target would be, do we have another way? No, not really. So that's why, well, there is another one, yeah, actually. Because if I draw the fib, if I put in what I think could be the subwave structure here, then I would say this was an A wave. This is a B wave triangle, and we're now shifting to the upside here in another C wave. This can be short, but looks unfinished yet. Why do I have the B wave here and not here? Because I think this could be a B wave triangle. Yeah, could be. But again, this is micro counting, so always take it with a pinch of salt. But something like that, Elliott wave triangle. And I'm going to take that channel out. Yeah, so it remains a bit unclear here. For me, that's not a clear breakout structure. I wouldn't be surprised to come down in the Y wave after all. This can certainly still shift up a little bit higher. I'd be extremely careful here. But as I said to you before, and yesterday only, if this really is already the low, which it could be here, then we have some decent upside. Because a target in the alternative wave count, where we say we have only done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this pattern, the wave 5 could be very strong given the length of the third wave. I mean, just approximately, we could look at something here between 37.3 to 41.4 cents. So it could be some serious upside, which is generally not surprising, because I remember like days ago, and in many videos we talked about that this could be in this wave 2 correction, in which I think we currently are, within a larger downtrend still, this could become a serious move to the upside, yeah? Because if you look at the beginning of the wave 1 here, that was at 43.7 cents. And then we moved down all the way to around 23, 24, and we're now moving up. But that means if this really was a wave 1 to the downside, and this is a wave 2, then we can certainly retrace, I mean, certainly to the 61.8 retracement, 78.6, so to around 40 cents. Yeah, no problem. Also from a perspective of the higher pattern, which is why it's important not to get too bullish too early necessarily. But of course, this is a tradable structure. This is impulsive. Always bear in mind, also corrections can have impulses. And overall, my preference at the moment would still be, also by looking at what Bitcoin is doing, that we still get another low. Of course, the low could already be in. We talked about that in detail. We had 5 waves down. The question is then always, these 5 waves down here, was that just a wave 1 of a larger 5-wave structure, or was this already the completion? Yeah, so these 2 options exist. We won't be able to say that until we've seen the price run a little bit. That's unfortunately how it works. Nobody has a crystal ball. We can only analyze what we have on the chart. And I guess an important piece of knowledge was down here that, yeah, the bear market low could be in, but we don't have enough data to confirm it. And therefore, because we are still in the downtrend on the daily, the preference has to be to still go lower. So that's sort of still my view. Let's see. Let's see if we get there. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's some nice upside here that we see at the moment. Just here on the micro level, I am still in favor of seeing this as a correction that will still come down. But yeah, I mean, it's still a valid support area. You can see how we are reacting to it. And I would not rule out that we go up directly. But in that case, obviously, stop loss. If anybody wants to trade this, then obviously a stop loss could be set below the box, here below the last swing lows. But obviously it has moved up now quite a bit. So we're quite far away from a possible stop loss. That's why I don't like breakout trading, because if you trade this as a breakout, you're very far away from a support. And consequently, the position size would need to be very small. Otherwise, your risk is quite large. Okay, and that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.